Yes, Vijayji, whenever you wish, you can take over and start the
Yeah,
session.
thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Beam meditation sessions on this Monday. Since last 3 weeks, we were discussing about the molecules of silence. Today, we will see how practicing meditation changes the molecular signature of chronic stress. This is our disclaimer. First of all, let us break our current breathing pattern. As you know that when we break our breathing pattern, the spying 175 neurons in the pre-board C in our brainstem inform our brain's control center that something has been changed. And our brain becomes alert to the new situation to either react or to respond. To break the breathing pattern, take a few deep breaths slowly. Epigenetics is the study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way our genes work. Unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change our DNA sequence, but they can change how our body reads a DNA sequence. Epigenetics means beyond genes or control over genes. Everything in our body happens slowly over the time. Inflammation is one of them. It is at the root of every disease. When we cut our finger or strain our ankle or have a simple sore throat, it causes acute inflammation. And then there would be redness, swelling, pain, heat, and loss of function. What happens then? Body sends white cells, blood flow increases, and blood vessels dilate. Then blood clots. There would be fever and pain too. Our body heals such localized inflammation efficiently, and it is called acute inflammation. But it is different with the chronic inflammation. A gradual, slow, persistent, and long-term inflammation is called the chronic inflammation, and it has whole body effects. It is silent. You will only become aware about it when it has already caused you a disease or a condition. When individual cells are damaged due to our lifestyle, our body perceives the threat even though there are no pathogens or invading microorganisms to fight with. And one of two things or sometimes both happens. Body sends white cells to overcome the perceived threat, but there is no one to fight with. So white cells have nothing to do and they cannot return and report back that all is well, as the only thing they know is to fight and die. So sometimes the white cells start attacking the body organisms and body organs, and this is called autoimmune disease. And because of the inflammation is in the individual cells without any foreign invaders, the inflammatory cells remain too long in the blood and gradually stick on the artery as plaque builds up. Sometimes the body tries to scrub them off as they are seen as foreign objects because they are not supposed to be there. Or sometimes the blood flow gradually breaks them away from the artery wall. So because of the chronic inflammation, either of these two things happen. And since the wall is damaged, the artery wall is damaged, and white cells patch it up, a glue-like substance seals it by sticking there, creating another plaque buildup. And the vicious circle is now created. That floating plaque in the blood will block the blood flow to body organs and reducing their functions. At this point, you realize that something is not right. This is chronic inflammation. And it is the secret and silent killer. Chronic inflammation is the greatest threat to human health. Worldwide, 3 out of 5 die due to chronic conditions. And 60% Americans have chronic conditions. 42% have more than one, and 12% have more than 5. Acute inflammation is a short-lived adaptive response. It increases the activity of the immune system to fight injury or infection, whereas the chronic inflammation is maladaptive because it persists when there is no actual threat to the body. And that's the very important statement. There is no actual threat to the body. Chronic inflammation is associated with increased risk of some types of cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, asthma, arthritis, cardiovascular diseases, and psychiatric disorders such as depression. But remember, there is no actual threat to the body. And even then, all these diseases can happen. Because exposure to severe stressor can have a profound influence. We are always stressed out. We have so many worries. And because of that, detrimental changes in biology, such as reduced gray matter in brain. Now, the effects of stress go beyond the brain and can be found in genes in a form of CTRA. What is CTRA? CTRA is a conserved transcriptional response to adversity, CTRA. It is a common molecular pattern found in people exposed to different types of adversities such as bereavement, cancer diagnosis, trauma, low socio-economic status. And the primary characteristics of CTRA is the upregulation of pro-inflammatory genes leading to major inflammation at the cellular level. So if we are under stress, there would be upregulation of pro-inflammatory genes. And the secondary characteristics of CTRA is the downregulation of antiviral and antibody-related genes. So secondary characteristic, it will downregulate. It means that it will inhibit or decrease the strength of antiviral and antibody-related genes. And that actually leads us to the viral infection. And that is why this CTRA is considered as a molecular signature of chronic stress. Now let us see the path from stressful event to an observable psychobiological change. First of all, there are some environmental stressor or any kind of threat that could be real or just perceived threat. Then goes to it activates pain regions in our brain. Then through HPA axis means hypothalamus in the brain, pituitary gland in the brain, and adrenal glands over the kidneys, and the sympathetic nervous system. And from there, regions modulating inflammation. This is the process. First of all, there is an environmental threat or stressor, which could be a perceived threat or real threat. Then SNS initiates neuromodulators, it activates transcription factors, then they bind to and activate pro-inflammatory genes, then there would be protein cytokines, and because of that, there would be the beginning of inflammation. And then cytokines travel to the brain and it initiates symptoms of depression, such as low mood, fatigue, inability to feel pleasure. So this is the way from a simple stress to the depression and inflammation. In long-term stress, the body becomes less sensitive to their anti-inflammatory effects because of their continuous secretion. And this is the main reason. Body always try to do something to heal, but because of the long-term stress, body get used to the secretion of those hormones. And because of that, the result is CTRA. In long term, this leads to inflammation-related diseases, infection, accelerated biological aging, and early death. Now, study shows that meditation breaks the chain of CTRA, the molecular signature of chronic stress, by changing the effects of transcriptional factors. Last time we have seen that how actually meditation changes the transcriptional factors. And this inhibits the inflammation at cellular level. So even though there is no real threat, there is only perceived threat, body would actually get chronic stress and chronic inflammation. But by meditating, we are breaking the chain of CTRA, which is the molecular signature of chronic stress. And then that inhibits the inflammation at cellular level. And that is why gradually we can overcome the chronic stress and chronic inflammation. Meditation means focusing on a singular point changes the molecular signature of chronic stress. It is to be in the present, in here and in now, focusing on a singular point. And as we have learned before, there are so many benefits of meditation. It results in non-judging awareness. It modifies gene activities. It creates alternate circulation pathways and new blood vessels. It controls the release of hormones. There are so many benefits of meditation. It is not a religious practice. It is all about seizing the moment. It's all about you. It's all about you to be in here and in now. No past impressions, no future anxieties, just the present. Because we only live in the present. The past is gone, and the future only arrives as the present. We all have 1,440 minutes in a day. Just by spending 10 minutes for meditation to tune with ourselves, there will be real biological changes in our body. We can practice this anywhere, anytime. So now let us practice meditation. You know what to do. Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Interlock your fingers and focus your mind at your nostrils. When you breathe in and breathe out, and do not roll your eyeballs towards nostrils. Keep observing your breaths going in and coming out of at nostrils. If our mind wanders somewhere else, let us bring it back to our nostrils to observe our breaths.
Is HelloFresh worth the price? Absolutely. In the beginning, I was doubtful too, until I realised I was actually
Today we'll be making a Spanish feast, and for dessert I'm going to share with you my recipe for churros. As a chef, I'm always looking
What is
You see the
Slowly come out from your meditation. Namaste, everybody. Today's wisdom sharing is about convert, don't divert. When I was a monk, and there was one of my friends, and he used to read so many books about positive thinking. And Dale Carnegie was one of his favorites. And whenever he would think about something, he would say, I would like to become like him or that person. So when he read about Adi Shankaracharya, he said, I would like to become like Adi Shankaracharya. Then sometimes he would read about Einstein. And then he would say, I wish I was Einstein. So whatever legendary characters or any great personalities he would read about, he would think that I wish I was like him. We always look to someone, to become someone. And whenever we are trying to achieve something, we always think that we have to get something, we have to attain something. We have to become like this or that. And that's why we always keep jumping around. There was a little story that if you plant a seed, and then there would be a little plant. And if we keep moving that plant from one soil to another, from one place to another, that plant will not become a healthy tree. It has to be there all the time in the same soil, and we cannot just keep uprooting it from there and again sowing it somewhere else. If we did that, then eventually that plant will die, or it will not actually grow into a healthy tree. We always keep diverting ourselves. We think that if we did this thing or that thing, if we meditate in this way or that way, if we face this direction or another direction, if we play this music or that music, then it will be giving us good or enhancing experience. So we keep jumping around. End of the day, it is not what we do that matters. It is how we do that matters. From basin to bedroom, from early morning till we go to sleep, we try to divert ourselves. If there is a thought that we would think that that thought should not be there, then we will start thinking about something else. So we are replacing one thought with another. We are replacing one activity with another. And that is not the way of spirituality. Whatever we do, that should become meditation. If we are brushing our teeth, then we should be there brushing our teeth, living in that moment. but we always think one step forward. Mind is always thinking about seconds or minutes or hours after, or even in the past. We always have to remember that whatever we do, that activity is our meditation. Whether you are eating or whether we are walking, walking should become meditation. Eating should become meditation. Whatever we are doing, it is actually meditation if we stay in that moment. And that is the way to realize ourselves, to silence everything and experience the absolute. And that is why there is no set path for spirituality, for realization. All the paths are made by us, the Homo sapiens, the human beings, according to our attitude, according to our belief, according to our principles. And that is why we follow a particular path. And then if we did not achieve anything on that particular path, we will switch to other path. And same thing happens there. So then we go looking for the third path. And eventually we think that there is nothing to attain, all is hoax or fraud, or my efforts are actually lacking, and that's why I do not, or I cannot realize. But it is not the path, it is the way how we perform our daily activity. It is the way how we do everything. In Buddhist traditions, they always talk about many kind of meditation, like sitting meditation. And they would say walking meditation. Then they would say talking meditation. Or any kind of meditation, any kind of activity that could become meditation. So instead of diverting ourselves to various paths or various techniques, there's only one technique, there's only one path, that is to convert whatever we are doing into meditation. And the key for that is to be there in that activity, to be there in whatever we are doing. But before that, we have to realize that we have to understand that there is no right or there is no wrong. Why do we keep changing our paths? Because we think that something is better. This is right, but something could be more righteous. This is good, but other could be better. And because of that dilemma, because of that duality of good and bad, or right and wrong, or sin and good deeds, we keep changing our paths. We try to divert our attention to other techniques, to other paths. And that's how we lose our time. And that's why they say, convert. Whatever we do should become meditation. And the key is to be there in that activity, in that minute, in that second, at whatever we are doing. Now, anyone would like to share their experience or wisdom, please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yes, friends, yes, friends, you should be able to unmute yourself now. I just gave the possibility. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Vijay ji. This is Mridula.
Hi, Bhulaji.
Yeah, so when I posted the Martin Luther King post on our Beam family, this is exactly what he was trying to say. Whatever we are called to do, we should just, do the best, meaning we should focus on. You explained it so well. I really appreciate that. Everything we do, we think that the other person is doing better, or we want to be like the other person because it looks good in our eyes. They always say the grass is greener on the other side, but we can just water our own lawn, right? To make it green.
Yes.
We don't have to look at the other side. And watering our lawn means taking care of ourselves. And and when we have good care for ourselves, we don't need to look at the other side and notice that the lawn is green. It's also green on our side. So thank you, Vijayji. I just thought of that today when you were talking. I'm glad I got to listen to your talk today. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Bhulaji. Okay, Rameshji, shall we conclude?
Yes, Vijayji. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for initially wonderful scientific facts about meditation, followed by a beautiful meditation, and then the wisdom sharing. Yes, we always tend to compare, and that is where we lose everything of ourselves. Very beautifully shared with so much of information and wisdom. Thanks a lot, Vijayji.
Thank you very much.
And friends, thanks for joining. And we meet back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Till then, have a wonderful time. Namaste.
Namaste.